What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. It's on the left side here. We have Plants, a deck that has continuously grown over the years from being just the Rikka deck to now being the Rikka, Sanavalon, Romage, and the Ragnar Rikka deck. And on the right side here, we have Mimighoul Azamina, a deck that Todd's been playing for a very long time. A huge shout out to both players for finally being on the channel. I know that the player on the left side keeps saying that every time I upload the videos, they don't actually make it on the channel here. We're going to be diving in with Mimighoul, end up winning the die roll here. With the Mimighoul dungeon can be activated, letting us search our deck or our graveyard to add back any of the Mimighoul monsters, adding back the dragon from the deck, I should say. And then we're going to be normal summon up the dragon, letting us search for another card, looking for that room, an amazing Book of Moon type card, which can be really good against the Rikka deck. Being able to Book of Moon the Petal or a Sunseed before they can link away can just be kind of ending the turn there if they don't have another extender here. Now they do have a lot of extenders in the deck, obviously, alongside some board breakers. We're going to be seeing the Mimighoul Maker going to be activated, giving an Archfiend as well as a Slime. So hopefully hitting that Slime, giving us the Slime there so Archfiend can then summon itself out. And it's going to activate the effect, allowing us to then summon back the Slime onto our field, as well as summon another one from the deck. And now the Rikka player has activated a monster effect against their will here. So we might be seeing a Talents as well as a Thrust. But they are going to be, okay, we do activate the effect there, and that's going to allow us to summon from our deck and then take back that Slime. And we summon with the Master here, going to be a 1 of in the deck, and that beautiful QCR rarity here, allowing us to then search as well. So having like triple searches in the deck is going to be quite nice. We do search for another Archfiend there. We have room to make the Mimighoul Giant being a searcher as well. We don't need a Throne because we already have the Master in our hand. Now we're going to be discarding room for a Diabellstar, allowing us to set the Deception, and we're going to try to go for an Omnigate, it looks like in this case, for the Silvera. So having access to that Diabellstar is pretty nice. Now I do wonder why they decided to set the room here. We're then going to see another Mimighoul activate the effect, placing face down on our side, and we're going to go up now into the new card from Supreme Darkness. Is going to be the Wing Beast Bird that flips up cards, and it is not once per turn, so we're going to be seeing them flip up the Archfiend. And I believe they have to discard a card here in their hand. So we're going to discard the Snowdrop, being a brick in that Rikka hand anyways, not the greatest. And then we can overlay up into our Giant Mimighoul here, which can allow us to search our deck once again, most likely adding a room back because we did discard that earlier. And we now have access to a whole bunch of different things. We're going to be seeing the Deception activate, sending the Diabellstar, allowing us to search for the Hallowed Azamina. And we can activate the Hallowed Azamina, revealing, it does not reveal for cost, but we are going to be revealing anyways for the Ruling Glacio, sending the Deception, and then we're going to be seeing the Hallowed Azamina going to be explained how it kind of works. So they have to send, it doesn't reveal for cost, that's kind of important to note though. And they send to summon. And they're going to take a second to read this. If you have not read the Hallowed Azamina or any of the Azamina cards, it definitely is kind of weird. I actually really like it. I think that being able to set the traps was super cool. But we're going to be adding a trap here, I should say. I was saying spells, but I knew the trap was going to be searched. And this is going to be a page of the Chimera book, essentially a Book of Moon. And also when it's sent to the graveyard, you get to add it back with control a higher level monster. So illusion monster. So we're going to be seeing them link away into the IP, and then we're going to be able to activate the effect of Hallowed Azamina, adding back that Moon Glacio into the extra deck, and then adding that Hallowed Azamina back. We then have the trap card that can be sent off of the Hallowed Azamina to go for the Omnigate. So we have a whole bunch of things that we can kind of go for here. So we're going to be seeing the Hallowed Azamina revealing the Silvera, sending the trap, and then sending the trap there. The trap will then be able to reset itself. And we have two Book of Moons here, an IP, a Negate, as well as a copy of Giant as well. And follow up in the dungeon. So we see an armor being flipped face down to their opponent's side of the field, which makes it that they cannot normal summon until they flip up cards. And they're going to take a second to read. And like dungeon is actually a very good a very good like floodgate that people just don't really expect, because you do need normal summons in a lot of your decks. Like imagine you're playing as Ryziel and have the special summon out instead if they don't want to flip up that monster here. So they're kind of forced to flip it up. Now it doesn't necessarily do always the greatest, because like in this case armor is not going to be doing too much for them. If it was like another copy of the Archfiend, they'd have to discard another card in their hand. But we're going to be seeing the armor, and then armor is going to be activating the effect. We give it back to our opponent here. And we're going to be seeing a normal summon of the Rikka Seed. This is going to be one of the newer additions to the deck, and I believe that they do flip this face down. Or just hit it with an imperm. It does search for 2 cards, I believe. Or the spell searches for 2. I'm not 100% certain. But we do link away now for the Sunvine, leading us into our second engine of the deck. And I don't believe this searches if it's not used for, if it's not the loci being used. So now we do have talents in the hand there, but we do have the Sunvine Sowing already in the hand, so we can activate it anyways. Going to be kind of continuing. And do we choose to negate this with the Silvera? We do not. So we're going to allow them to summon out the loci from the deck, and now we can start playing with our secondary engine. Now we do Mimighoul Room here, which is going to allow us to flip that seed face down and summon out a Mimighoul from the deck. Now we do summon out, or we're going to give the dragon to our opponent, and then we're going to be flipping face down that seed. Now they can't flip up either of these monsters because they were special summoned this turn is the issue. So they're not going to be able to kind of continue with these link summons here either. We have the Rikka Bloom here, and then we'll be chaining the SP, or IP going into an SP, banishing the Bloom. And it isn't banished face down, but we then see talents being negated by the Silvera, and they have the Rikka Glamour here being able to tribute a plant monster being the seed. It is face down, but we know it's a plant to let us search for 2 cards here, giving us access to the Rikka stuff, and we have played through so many of these interruptions here. We played through Room, Silvera, the IP into SP. Now we have the second SP, of course, but you still played through so much, but this is going to be the last card in the hand, and now all cards are known. I don't know if Plant Link can kind of squeeze a way through this. They do have pretty powerful cards like Princess in the graveyard, as well as like Petal and Field and stuff like that. There is a lot of stuff they can do. I feel like they have to search for Primera as well as the other one. We're going to search for a Seed and Petal, perhaps. I don't exactly know all the plant lines. But yeah, we're going to go for the Petal in this. There might be more where we go for Princess and the Primula, because then we can summon them both out. But we're only summoning out the Seed by sending the Petal to the graveyard. And then we do book this once again here, and they should admit defeat, realizing that they cannot beat all these Book of Moons. We're going to be able to flip up that monster afterwards, and the dragon will destroy our field. So there's not really much we can do there anyways, and we see that Mimighoul ends up taking game 1. That's what the power of Mimighoul. When it goes first and it pops off with like both the engines, including the Azamina stuff, it goes off extremely hard. Like you have 3 searches, you have like the Silvera, you have double Book of Moons. Like it's actually really powerful. Like people just do not realize how good this deck can actually be. And sometimes it's actually kind of scary even, where like you have no idea what you're facing up against. But we are going to be diving into game 2 with Plant Link going to be able to go first, and a very powerful deck going first. You know, we have like a 60 card variant that just like spans out on the board. Not much can actually beat this deck, especially when you open up, like there's like so many 1-card combos, 2-card combos, 3-card combos. When you master this deck, it is quite powerful, as Europe itself has proven us time after time again. We are going to be going into a pile shuffle. I know Nibiru and Droll are both pretty popular right now, so I don't know if Rikka really is a good idea to play right now. But I suppose if you don't get hit with any of them, or you have like the right stuff or crossouts, then obviously you're going to be quite fine. But diving on into game 2, we are going to be seeing the Rikka player going first. And we're going to start off with a normal summon of a bonfire. Or a lone fire, you're not bonfire. Very close. When you do activate an imperm, they have the crossout for the imperm. But now we are going to be very weak on any of the cards. We do go for lone fire, going up into the seed. Now, I wonder if that was their only starter is the question. So we're going to go up into the sowing, and then we're going to be seeing sowing summon out here the twin, I believe. And we take 1,000, and then we pay, we gain. Then we can go for like the healer. And we link those two away for the Jasmine. We activate Jasmine effect using the twin to go up into the Aromage package now, so going for the Laurel. Then we're going to be linking those two away for another Jasmine. Now we're going to be seeing the Laurel effect, making us gain 500, triggering both Jasmines here, allowing us to have a double search. Going for now the Princess, finally, the card that allows us to have a negate. But we're going to be seeing the Seed as well as the Petal instead. Now we did normal summon the Lone Fire, so how are we going to get the Petal out onto the field? I'm not exactly sure of. But we have Lilyboria now to target the Laurel summoning itself out. And then we're going to be activating the Lily as effect, sending the Laurel to the graveyard to allow us to search for the Field Spell. We're going to see Field Spell get activate the effect, allowing us to search for a Regulus. And now we're going to be having an on-link on the field when we link away that copy of Lily. So we now link away the Lilyboria for another Aromage monster, being the Aromage Link 3. And that's going to activate the effect, allowing us to, I believe, search our deck for any of these spells. We search for the Aromage Blend, which is a fusion spell. And then we do activate the Regulus, attaching the Lilyboria here. And we have an Omni Negate on the field for this turn and the next turn as well, because we can send the Lilyboria to the graveyard off of that Regulus. What's really cool is you can actually attach Regulus to Lilyboria if you are plant locked for like following up turns. So, because you have Petal always bringing itself back out, you have that kind of ability, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be seeing the Seed going to be sending the Petal to the graveyard to summon itself out. Then we're going to activate the effect, allowing us to search for a Bloom and a copy of the Samurai Beetle. We're then going to summon out the Samurai Beetle because it is banished. And then we're going to be going up into the Ragnarok Link 2. We're going to summon back out the Lone Fire Blossom here. And we are off to the races. I'm not exactly sure on where we're going for this. I know they end on like a Bangalancer as well as like a other like stuff they want to have in like the ritual, or not the ritual, but the links and stuff. So we end up jumping through some hoops here with summoning out double Jasmines once again here. And then we have a way to gain life points by using Blend. Blend is going to send the droplets to the graveyard, allowing us to search for Humids, and then we can gain life points off the Humids. We pay 1,000 to search our deck, I should say, then we gain 500. Searching for a Laurel, and then we gain this, which is then going to trigger both Jasmines once again. And we now search for a Princess alongside maybe a Mudon, a Snowdrop, and I feel like we want to have access to Mudon at some point, right? Yeah, okay, so we're going to get access to Mudon now. We still have the Aromage in the graveyard to be able to fusion summon. But we're going to link those two away for the Bangalancer here, or as I used to call him, the Balenciagas. And we're going to go for Snowdrop, summoning out itself and the Mudon. Mudon will then activate the effect, allowing us to search for a Rikka Con, which can give us access to the trap, being the sheet or the glamour in this case. But we're going to already have, we want to have access to sheet here because this is going to absolutely crazy. We then turn everything into a level 4, and then we go for Estrena. Estrena will activate the effect, allowing us to add back a Jasmine into the extra deck here. And then we're going to go for another link up into, we're going to go for, okay. So we're going to Lone Fire Tribute off the Estrena to go up and summon out the Princess. And then we're going to be using the Estrena's effect to go up into the Hyperion. And then we can activate a spell, which gives us now the Hyperion effect to attach a spell card. And then we go up into Estrena, which then we're going to see the Con going to be setting from the deck the sheet. It does not add to the hand, but we're going to be correcting that real quick, I believe. We then link up into another Jasmine. We're going to be seeing here. Yeah, they realize the sheet has to be set. And we're filling out these zones quite a bit. We're going to be seeing the Aromage now banish the Laurel itself and the Healer to summon out the Fusion. And then we're going to be seeing the Bangalancer going to be banishing both Jasmine to summon itself out. And we set one more card here, and we have filled out every single monster zone that we possibly can without extra linking. And we have a Spell and Trap, Monster Gate, a Tribute with a Princess in graveyard, a Bangalancer Bounce, a Humid Winds, as well as a Sheet here. And we see an Imperm on the Regulus, and they do go Battle Phase. End of Battle Phase, not even having the bluff. We have the Evenly Matched here, and we are just going to banish the whole entire field just goes. That's crazy. We keep Estrena, and they flip up a D barrier here, I should say, calling XYZs. And it does get banished because of how the rules work, and they have the cards leave the field all at once. But we do D barrier for XYZs. I mean, you imagine just summoning your whole entire board, and then just goes to a single Imperm evenly matched. Having like the bluff to like Imperming the Regulus, and then going Battle Phase. It's like, what do you even do? Do you call the bluff, or do you just say, like, prove it? So we do check the Princess in the graveyard for, you know, the effect, but we are under XYZ's Dimension Barrier, so we can't even go for that Estrena to go up into like the Teardrop, which is kind of rough here. So we do go Dungeon now, which is going to search for an Armor. And Armor is not the greatest Mimighoul, so why are we choosing this one? Here's a question. We then activate Armor, putting it onto our side of the field. And we link away for an Anima. Anima can then attach the Estrena there. They're kind of forced to let it go because they want a Princess. They want a Princess during the next turn here, because we'll be able to summon a Petal back from the graveyard, and that's going to be a form of negate. So then we're going to go for a normal summon of a Dragon. And it's so unfortunate that they had it exactly in that Anima zone. There's not much they could do. We saw that the the options were just Estrena or the Regulus in the Anima zones. Maybe we could play a little bit better around the zones, but I don't really think it necessarily matters that much. You know, we had all our monster zones filled up, but we do go for a Maker summon out. And then we're going to be seeing the Slime summon to our side of the field. And we can't XYZ, so we are kind of stuck in that scenario. We could go for an SP. And that could banish the Petal in the graveyard. It doesn't banish it face down, though. We keep banishing off SP face down. It's not going to come up in this match, I should say. But it is kind of rough. We set one and just pass. And they are forced. They can't normal summon without flipping up that Archfiend, which makes them discard their hand. And we see them just admit defeat there in just a sadness. I mean, you imagine getting evenly matched Impermed on your one Omni Negate, and like you had 3 monster negates and stuff like that, and a D-Barrier on the field. It definitely just feels bad there. But we see Mimighoul end up taking it in a 2-0 victory. Rikka doing their stuff, but just having the out there is just unfortunate. There's not many cards that actually do break that board, but that imperm evenly just unfortunately does there. Regardless, hope you watched on the video. Don't forget to like, comment, see more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.